All right. A lovely evening to you. Thank you so much for coming through here on Love and Marriage on TV Sapiens. We talk about our relationships, we talk about life, we talk about everything in general, basically to make our marriages work and to make our love lives beautiful. My name is Oma. You're very sweet at on radio and TV. I can't be alone on this program. I've got with me Freshest.
Yeah.
But Fresh, I love this. Your bling 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 bling.
Yeah,
bling.
yeah. Well, I don't know why you're specific about
Your bling
my
bling
bling,
bling bling bling.
yeah. I'm not gonna tell you the history. It's just that sometimes.
Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
It's just that as a mature a judge.
And Odika Otokazi.
So
Finally, we just have to make ourselves happy. There are lots of challenges in Nigeria.
Not just Nigeria, everywhere, honestly, the whole world, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
So we just have to find ways to make ourselves happier and to ensure that our mental health is in check and it's in order.
Yeah, and even while doing that, most times, a lot of us encounter one or two
challenges,
issues.
Yeah.
Now, some of these issues may come from home. Some of these issues may even come from the one we love most. And probably, if we don't calm down, take our time, look at our actions, we may even end up using fire to quench fire.
I'm telling you.
And
to cause more problems.
Cause more problems by announcing our problems to the whole world or seeking help where there is
where there is no help, where there's a problem.
You understand? So that is it, Sometimes you just do things not necessarily because you have what it takes, or sometimes you may not even deserve it, may not even be your level, but just because a man in one way or the other must have something that makes him smile once in a while. Not every man wants to smile in the public, but you just need to have something that at least when you think about it, you can actually look at yourself and say, yeah, you're not a total failure. You may have failed in so many areas, but others may even regard you as a failure, but you can just look at certain things and tell yourself, look, you're not a failure. Others watching you, others looking at you may look at it and like, what is it doing? You understand? I have a friend. This is my friend. What gives him joy is to dance.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes he plays music just on his phone and he's just dancing to it. As soon as he finishes dancing, he's fine. Everyone has what gets the person going. Personally, as a child growing up, I like gold. But I have not had the opportunity of holding gold in my life. I came across this one. I had to just put it on. When I see it, I'm not even thinking whether it's my own or not my own, but just the fact that there's something golden about me. I feel good. So I'm happy you like it.
Oh, Fresh, you're so funny.
Because
I was just waiting for you to land in what you're saying. But you made a point, which is sometimes when people are challenged, they come out and they announce their problems to the world.
Yes.
And that brings us to the topic we'll be discussing. Why do people find it convenient? Is it about the technology? Is it about the internet? Why do people find it convenient to announce their problems to the world? And thinking about this topic right now, Fresh, if you look at the olden days, you find out that sometimes when a husband and wife, when they are fighting, they are shouting. Sometimes they come outside, the woman is shouting, screaming, calling the attention of the neighbors to come. Or sometimes the man will go and he's shouting. Or maybe the woman they have issues, they are busy talking to different people about the issues they have. If you find out, like if you look at this thing critically, the idea of announcing people's problems to the world, it has been there since. The only challenge is that the social media kind of elaborated it such that people are having issues in their homes, it is announced on the social media. Husband and wife are having issues in their homes, it is announced on the social media. Announcing it on the social media, what is the essence of announcing it on the social media?
Well, maybe we can, drag it even to the starting point. For instance, people in relationships.
Yeah.
Personally, I was a victim.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you what I mean by being a victim. The lady I wanted to marry.
Yeah.
When I met her, I was so excited. I would say she was my spec that time.
As at that time.
As at that time.
Because she will not be your spec now.
No, she's no longer my spec. But
like let's just say that if right now, the fresh of today,
I want to get married,
then
you mean that you're
carrying
me now
to that time?
No, I will not want to get married to her because
See?
Naturally, so many things, belief and all of those things about me, and a lot of things have changed. So I may not necessarily want to get married to her, But that particular time, she was my spec.
Okay.
So now I'm meeting her. I had to travel all the way to Enugu to meet her in person. We knew each other growing up. She was younger than myself, but I was as well a very young person, so we can tell I think when I was in SS1, she was in JSS1, so I can say that we can actually talk about each other a little bit. So meeting again was such an exciting moment. So we took pictures the first day we met. We took pictures and I was so excited. I started posting those pictures on the social media, announcing to the world that this is the woman for me. That's the one I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. I'm giving my kids a mother, and both my enemies and my friends saw the posts, saw the pictures, they saw the write-ups, and they saw how excited I was. And these guys, a lot of people took advantage of that. People started talking to her, people that, even some of her family members that know her personally, friends, some of our village people, because we come from the same village. They started talking to her. Some people told her, why are you considering that guy? He's a journalist, he talks on radio. Haven't you seen journalists that practice for so many years? The kind of shoes they wear, they go to question, they're begging for 2,000, stuff like that. So, see a whole lot of people talking to her, see people trying to give her reasons not to stay with such a man, say a young man like me, And at the end of the day, the relationship failed, it didn't lead to marriage. She broke up with me. But after that, I learned something. Now, when I met my wife, throughout the period of our courtship, throughout the period of our dating, I never posted anything
about her.
I never said anything. I never posted her picture. In fact, all the pictures we took, we kept it.
Well, was it about you trying to learn your lessons?
I learned my lessons because people that shouldn't talk to the person I want to get married to started talking to
exactly
her. People that do not really have the true information about me started creating, creating a matter of information.
Opinions.
People that shouldn't even advise, they have not been able to advise themselves. They started becoming an advisor to the person I love. All these things contributed to one or two the reason why the marriage didn't work out. So meeting a second person, if I try the second time, then you can call me a foolish man. The first time I was excited, not as if I wasn't excited meeting my wife, but the excitement was with wisdom. You know, the fact that I was excited doesn't mean that I should make the same mistake I made. And as much as I told myself if it's the will of God would have happened, but we need to also help God to function in our lives. There are things we have to do for ourselves, you know, but the truth is that, you know, young people in relationship, especially when there is a broken relationship, when there's a problem, and this person has to go his way, this person has to go her way. Everybody wants to prove that they are happier. Everybody wants to pretend that they are happier by announcing it on the social media.
Yeah.
And you know, when young people, for instance, when they break up, you see them checking on each other's progress. And because they cannot call you on the phone to ask you how
They'll
you
keep
doing,
checking, they'll keep
what have you been able to
viewing
achieve,
you, they'll keep seeing,
You know.
especially in this era of people posting everything.
everything.
If you make any move, you post it on the social media.
It-
Anything you're doing, you're posting it on the social media.
Yeah, the truth is that young people, if a young girl of these days, if a young girl, a young guy is heartbroken, you don't need anybody to call your phone and tell you. Follow her status, follow her feeds, you know, Facebook feeds.
Yeah.
What she's
Yes,
posting.
yes.
The words,
Yes.
her comments,
Yes,
and people's
yes,
posts.
yes, yes.
You can
True.
possibly tell yourself
You know, fresh,
that.
not just young women, even guys.
Yeah, no,
We
I'm
were-
not talking
we-
about women. I'm talking about guys.
We were
And
having a
girls
discussion.
too,
We were having
yeah.
a discussion before we came up here about a particular post somebody made on Facebook. And we were just sharing within each other. We were like, if you're so angry, leave social media. Because you can
yeah.
actually come and you've written something. Maybe in your mind you could be thinking of something else. But you cannot control what the other person is
The
thinking.
fact is that whenever you post anything, everybody has their different interpretations
Of your post.
and different opinions
Of your post.
and different things they
And
think
you
your
cannot
post is talking
control
about.
it.
And even when you delete the posts, many
Of
people
course,
have
it's
seen
there,
the
it's there,
post, many
it's
people
there,
have already
it's
commented
there,
the
it's
post,
there.
and so on and so forth. So when it comes to that, I think the problem most times is one, being so emotional. Two is one, competing.
But
with the
let's
other
let's
person.
take it one step at a time.
Yeah.
Being so emotional, emotions are not bad. All right? Should people now become so cold? Like, let's just say somebody gets hot. What should the person do?
Okay, yeah,
Excuse me.
there are ways. Now, being too emotional, so means making it
The extreme.
the extreme
Yeah.
too much. And being emotional is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Emotional helps you to, you know, calm
Stay
down,
balanced.
not to hurt yourself.
Yes, yes.
But what we are looking at here is now
extreme.
being emotional doesn't mean that you're going to hurt yourself or you're going to hurt someone. But being so emotional can make you do things you won't like afterwards, or doing things that you probably may regret at the end of the day. Now, being so emotional, you put yourself in a competition with somebody. Being so emotional, you put yourself in a fight with somebody. Now, being so emotional or being emotional, what differentiates the both of them is the expression. Someone can be emotional, the person expresses himself or herself still in a matured way. For instance, when the girl I wanted to marry, I was dating, we've gone this far. When she broke up with me, I honestly did not start writing on the Facebook. Rather, I picked up my pen, I picked up my paper, and I started, writing. I started writing a book.
Okay.
I titled the book Love Zone.
Oh, that was what
Yeah.
inspired Love Zone.
Yes.
Okay.
I titled the book Love Zone. And after writing the book, so many people connected to it. Now, a lot of people have loved and got lost They're all connected to it. Some learned their lessons from it. Then I think they won't make the kind of mistakes, because I taught people why I'm sharing this is that you don't make the kind of mistake that I made. I also made people understand that every woman is not the same. Every man is not the same. For the fact that I invested and got disappointed does not mean that if you invested you will get disappointed. But that's notwithstanding, you will not know if you're going to get disappointed except you end up being disappointed at the end of the day. So I wrote the book, I published the book, I sent the book to shops in the market, and people bought it. Now, my own expression, I was able to make money from it. Now, the girl that I wrote the book because of my experience with her, you know, her friends back here in the East, because she was there and she was living in Abuja then. She was working with National Hospital in Abuja. She was in industrial, I think this thing, doctors too.
IT, industrial training.
No, is it industrial training or
housemanship?
Housemanship, yeah. So some of our friends back here in the East said, we saw a book and the guy happens to be the guy you told us you were going to get married to, and he was talking about relationship breakup and heartbreak and stuff like that. Are you still with the guy? And she said no. And I said, you need to read the book. The book is so impactful. And then she sent money. They bought the book for her. They sent it to her. Some of our friends in Abuja read it, and in fact she said somebody stole the book from her.
Wow.
So she had to, you know, we started talking after some years. She told me this story. She had to buy the book again. And some of our fellow doctors read the book and wanted it by all means. And she also bought the book. So by right, she told me she bought 11 copies.
Wow.
You know, they did well bill for her. So you can see, I was selling that book at 500 then. 500 was bigger than 5,000. You know, 500 back in 2013. 2013, I think we can say it's bigger than 5,000 now. So 500 then, she bought 11 copies.
Okay.
Now, and she read the book. She appreciated my work, even though her name wasn't written there. You know, and many other people read my book and learned something from it, and I made money. So I expressed the emotions there, but that emotion wasn't for pity. It was for knowledge. It was
from
for
the
wisdom.
Strength, from the point of strength.
You understand? It was for wisdom.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
In fact, I think I will have to get that book and I'll give you, because even at this point in my life, I still, once in a while, I pick up the book, I go through it again and again. You know, there is this strength it gives me.
Oh, wow.
There is this, I become more passionate. And in that book, I try to tell people that the best form of revenge is success.
True.
That's
honestly,
the best form of revenge.
Honestly, if you're having issues with people, if you're having issues with someone, instead of going on social media and ranting about it, why don't you just look inwards?
And then,
what is that thing that that person has said about you that you think you actually know that this thing is not the truth about you? What is that thing? Or maybe you think that some people are gossiping about you, or maybe they are being envious about you, they are being jealous of you and all that. Look inwards. Think of how you can actually change yourself, become a better person, not because of them, but for the sake of humanity.
yeah.
Because I've come to realize something, freshman. It's just like what we are discussing. You said, you made a really great point. You said, when people have responsibilities, they no longer have time.
For a lot of things.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Because you don't even have enough time for yourself. You're trying to even make out time for yourself.
Exactly.
And the responsibilities that you have, the things that you need to do.
Yes.
So, certain things are distraction.
Yeah, you're correct.
I was talking with an elderly person recently. I think today is Tuesday, right? Last week. I was talking with an elderly person. Now, this person said to me that there are people, there are situations packaged by the devil to distract you. that you may never know. Somebody could just come with the intention of provoking you intentionally. They want to provoke you, and you know what anger does. When you get angry, for that time being that you're going to be angry, you're going to invest your energy in that anger, right? You will not think of any other thing except that thing that's making you angry.
Yeah.
And now imagine the number of hours it's going to take you to get angry for that length of time. Now imagine somebody getting angry and going on social media to vent, to rant. Now the person rants on social media, the person keeps going back to social media to check comments under the rant. Just like you pointed out, people who have absolutely no business advising you, people who don't even know you, people whose lives are could even, I don't know how to explain it. People who you don't even know them.
The day I gave up on people on the social media is the day I saw a post where somebody says, what's the fastest way to commit suicide and die successfully without pain? And I saw people, human beings who are living and who wants to live, advising another
on what to do.
On what you can Google it. Google saved that stuff, and I was like, there are devils among us.
I'm telling you.
You know, I just told myself there are devils among us. And now one of the worst things you can do is to seek advice on the social media. Whatsoever advice. Except you have a particular community on the Facebook that you know them very well.
Even that community.
Yeah.
Social media is social media. For example, when we talk about Facebook, Facebook has over 3 billion users every month.
Now,
these are individuals that you don't even know.
Yes, when I talk about community, for instance, Sapientia has a WhatsApp group.
Okay.
It's a social media app. Okay. You know, for instance.
Maybe your work environment. Fresh, let me tell you. I don't even advise, for example, you're having issues with your husband or you're having issues with your wife. You start
presenting
I don't even advise anybody to present it to anybody.
I'm just saying this because I know.
Your family members, like trusted family members.
And that professionals.
Or professionals, therapists.
Yeah.
Or
your spiritual director.
Or your spiritual director who will be impartial. That can actually tell you the truth. You know, and again, are you willing to accommodate the truth? You know, sometimes people don't like being told the truth. You're doing the wrong thing. You actually know that this thing you're doing is wrong. But you're looking for somebody that will help you, tell you that that thing that is wrong is no longer wrong, that is the right thing.
Yeah, the truth is that when we come to these social media, you discover that we have more wonderful and professional, you know, people who are very good when it comes to reasons why even you as a married person should divorce your partner.
True.
You know, divorcees, professional counselors. You know, some of these people that were married in the past and they are no longer married now. Some
of them could be married, but they will give you an advice that they cannot take themselves.
And some of them, devil, because just as God uses people, devil also
uses people as well.
Is using people as well. So, but you know, one seeking advice on the social media, it's not totally bad, but be sure that if you get 100 number of advice, 80 or 90 may be leading you astray, you know, and then sometimes such emotional posts only bring you pity.
Fake pity.
You understand?
Fake pity.
Yeah.
For me, I see it as fake pity because sometimes even those people that are pitying you, they don't even want your own good.
Every pity is not necessary. What a human being needs is not pity, because you are hungry. and you post it and someone comes to say, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, I won't give you a cup of rice, it won't give you a cup of curry.
Not at all.
You know, so I don't think that any pity, in as much as pity is another way of emotional expression, it's another emotional thing altogether, but it gathers nothing, it gives you absolutely nothing. You know, our discussion, one is, just like you said, when you know that you're not completely who you are, you don't have any business going on the internet to write, because you may end up writing what is not written by the real you. And posting something in the internet is like words. Any word spoken can never be taken back. It's impossible.
And again, with the internet, there is digital footprint. The trails that the post you make, they are there. Even if you delete it, the internet does not forget.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't forget. It will always be there.
It doesn't.
There are apps that can call up posts that were deleted. So once anything about you, your digital footprint is still there.
Yeah.
So, and you can't really run away from it.
Yes.
You understand? You can't really run away from it. All right? And but since we have a lot of persons running all over to the social media, all over to the internet, especially husband and wife, when they have issues, what can we do to ensure that when people have issues, they can sort it out without necessarily coming to the social media and inviting the whole world to come partake in their issues?
Yeah, the problem, you know, is that when it comes to marriage, a lot of people, so many people, including the society itself, in the society does not prepare people for marriage. You know, society prepare women to become women. A girl from being a child to being a girl, from being a girl to being a woman. Families do that too. But when it comes to preparing a girl for marriage, what marriage is all about, the society is not helping at all. Because even the church, take for instance, you're getting married and your wedding, you fix your wedding before you start going for marriage counseling. Sometimes there are churches where people do marriage counseling for just 3 weeks. 3 weeks is not every day. Now, is it enough for someone to stay in marriage? You know, and because we have so many terrible homes, daughters and even guys are supposed to learn act of marriage back home, but because of the fact that even their parents do not even understand what marriage is all about, so they just learn the way their parents are doing it, and sometimes they also learn from the social media. So you now discover that if we truly want to achieve what we are looking for, we need to go back to the drawing board. How do we go back to this? Every person who is going into marriage should have a mentor, someone you look up to. When there's a problem, the right thing to do is not to run to the social media. You can run to that, your mentor. A woman should have a female mentor, a female mentor who is successful in marriage. A guy should have a male mentor, just like, you know, they say somebody gave birth to you, you know, wedding and stuff like that. Catholic do that more, you know. And these are the people that you should at least go to and say, look at what is happening in my marriage. If you think this is not what you can handle with your partner, and because the marriage already, the both of you, both you and the guy, I mean your husband, already accepted that, look, this person is your father, this person is your mother, even though not biological, but you can go to them. Then whatever they tell you, you see yourself listening. Otherwise, before husband and wife should start taking their matters even to people, it should be that they have tried their best to resolve it.
And it did not work.
You understand? But most times, people who go to social media, if you look at some of the things they post, you discover that it's not even a big deal. You understand? It's not a big deal. There are people who announces everything. They announce the good, the bad, the ugly, everything.
Everything.
You understand?
Everything. You know, this idea, this thing about wanting the next person to know what is going on in your life.
You're seeking approval here and there.
Thank you. Validation, approval, wanting.
You post a picture on the social media, you're not getting commented, you're so worried about it. You're just so worried, you keep going back and forth, you know, to check. You buy a car, even before your wife knows you buy a car, it's already on the social media. You bought a new car. You buy something for your wife. I've seen a woman, as soon as she delivered, she started looking for her phone. Just as soon as she put it back.
To do what, please?
To snap the baby.
Oh my goodness.
And post on the social media. So a lot of people has gone crazy.
Like
that they have forgotten their sense.
I'm telling you.
You know, they are no longer using their common sense at all.
You know, social media is a good platform.
Yes, why not?
It's a beautiful platform where people can
reach out to as many people
as possible. You can do your businesses. You can do a lot of things. You can drive your programs. Like Freshman, you have a page on social media. You have a page on Facebook. I have a page on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I've met a lot of persons. I've connected to a lot of people. I've learned so many things on LinkedIn. But on LinkedIn, it's a career, it's a professional platform. Your work, what you do, your career, so you can get visibility. People will know you for what you're doing, and by knowing you for what you're doing, you will get more clients, you get more connection, you make more money. Except people are posting these things for content. But you find out that most people, most women, most guys who post these things on social media, it is not even content. Like they're not posting it for content. They're actually posting it because they felt angry, they felt emotional, and they decided they want to post it for the world to see and to know what they are going through. And finally, again, some of these people, they don't even know that that person that you're posting it for is not even interested in you. Most of them, they are waiting for you to make a mistake so that they will laugh at you.
And probably protect even your position. True. For instance, what is happening between these this musician,
Davido. Is it the wife and
the PA's
wife?
You know, and so the guy posted some of the messages he's getting from girls. 90% of them were begging him to forget about the girl. In fact, I saw one today. The girl said, forget about her. Marry me. As you bow down to Davido, I'll bow down to Chioma.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
That? So she's serious.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
You know, she's not joking about it.
You know the worth of Davido.
She's not joking about it. You
since you don't want that position, come out. Let she take that position.
She wants to take it, and she said, forget about it. I don't have any problem with you bowing down and sleeping or lying down for Davido. In fact, as you're lying down for David, I am lying down for Chioma. So I don't have any problem with that. So now, because you see these guys, they are busy washing their dirty linens on the social media. The lady said the guy is 2 minutes man. The guy is saying a manner of things about the mother-in-law, you know, about the wife, and so on and so forth. And Davido came out and said they will reconcile. Now, what if eventually they're reconciled? Are they going to take back those
posts, those things that they said on social media?
Look at where the problem is now. You know, that's why even myself, even when people insult me on the social media, for instance, I make a post on these people who don't agree with it, I don't reply you.
Of course.
I don't.
Yeah.
I can never.
Yeah.
If you insult me.
Because they will drag you. They will drag
One is that I don't have to. You understand? And when people say certain things, I don't defend myself.
Yeah.
Because even when you try to defend yourself, there are still people that will come there and want to make people think that it's not true, that your defense is nothing. So I feel there's no need for that. So, but sometimes people are trying to fight. They want to be innocent. They want to be this. They want to be that, and so on and so forth. So, social media is good, but it's not a place to settle problem between husband and wife. Any man or woman who is taking his or her problems to the social media and expecting a solution to it, is actually making a very big mistake.
Huge
as long
mistake.
as marriage is concerned, there are problems. There are marital problems that would have been solved amicably if you didn't get to the social media. You understand?
True.
Let's take, for instance, a man that has been on the space for almost 1 year now, if it's not more than 1 year. It's an actor, Yul Edochie. Now, when Yul got this lady pregnant, married her, have a baby with her, he never discussed with his wife. Rather, he posted on the social media, and the wife got to know about it
on the social media.
Now, if that guy has done it in a more matured way without going to the social media, I don't think that problem would have had a long leg as it has.
It would not have escalated.
For instance, he got a lady pregnant. He doesn't want his child. He doesn't want to lose his child. Fine. And he's finding it difficult to talk to his wife about it. Get your dad. Get your mom. Go to the lady's dad. Go to her mom. I've made a mistake. If you want to kill me, kill me. But I have a baby out there. And the condition is I have to marry the woman as a second wife. Please, I need help. If I don't marry her, if I don't have this baby, I'm as soon as dead because I don't want my blood outside. They are going to be talking about it as family.
Even if May does not want to accept or agree,
a lot of people will blame her.
People are going to tell her. People are going to
even
try to convince
some members
her,
of our family.
Convince her.
You understand?
But with the way he went about it, went on social media and dumped the news on social media.
What will be an issue of discussion would have been, how are you going to live with both of them?
Yeah. What are you going to do?
How are you going to live with both of them
to ensure there is no problem? And your kids.
To ensure there is no problem.
Because you cannot control. Okay, look at when you lost his son. Judy may not have a hand, obviously. May not have a hand in the death.
But she was in a picture
She was in the picture of everything that happened.
Trouble.
Exactly. It comes to the same thing we said, that what you can post something on the social media, but you cannot control what people are going to think about. You cannot control how people are going to see your post. Yes. You cannot control anything about it. So the best thing to do is, when you are angry, leave the social media. Leave the social media.
Even if you are going to stay, don't post something.
Yes. In fact, if your phone, if it's doing you post, because you know it's like a spirit, like it draws people. Go to Facebook, post. Let me tell you, let me shock you.
Okay.
My mom said something. There was one woman who died in our street, and my mom said, immediately the woman died, the daughter posted it on the social media. My mom was like, what rubbish is that? That she did not even wait for the mom to die. The next thing, she has posted it on Facebook.
Yes. I have seen somebody who posted the father dying. The man hasn't died. The man was still stretching. I've seen somebody go live with a dying person.
My goodness.
Dying parent. You know, I was asking myself, is it the same parent that I have?
What's
that you're able to even remember there is Facebook. You remember your phone, you are going to Facebook, you're going live. You're telling people, my daddy is dying.
Well, in wrapping up,
finally died.
In wrapping up, let's advise ourselves. In wrapping up, let's advise ourselves. Apart from when we are angry, we should drop the phone. What else can we actually do to find succor? Because it's as if when these emotions takes over, people no longer think, you know, they just want to burst, like they just want to have that outburst to feel good. How else can people have that outburst and feel good apart from going to the social media to invite the online in-laws?
The truth is that the first thing as a human being you should understand is that there is no man on earth, no woman on earth that have not had a share of heartbreak.
Yeah.
Heartbreak mustn't come from a woman you want to marry, a man you want to marry. There is no one that hasn't lost something very precious to him or her. I've lost my dad, I've lost his son, I've lost friend, you know. And knowing that, having that in mind, should be able to tell you that there are people that has worse stories than you, but they never posted it. So why must it will be always you getting the pity? Why must it be always you sharing that ugly story? Another one is knowing God is important.
Yeah.
Because in every situation, a child of God sees the opposite. When I lost my son, I never cried. I didn't cry. I wasn't angry. I was rather appreciating God that I didn't lose my wife. That was the way I was seeing it. Because I told myself the number of people that went to the hospital, I see the number of people that came back, you know, therefore wanted to take my wife, but my God said no. So I was appreciating God for that. I didn't allow that the emotion of losing his son to got hold of me, because if it had happened, maybe I would have been on the social media crying. I never posted that on the social media. I posted a testimony on the social media of how God glorified himself, you know, in my family, and people also joined. And, you know, some of my friends who called to say they want to come check on my wife, they want to come check on us, then I told all of them that, look,
not to come.
If you are coming because you want to come and probably
make her feel
tell
bad.
her sorry, because each time someone says sorry, you know, losing a son and losing a mother, you know, almost at the same time, my mother would have been there to assist within that same period, just a matter of 2 months, 1 month, then, you know, fell on stroke, had stroke attack. So it was that big, you know, for us. That period, one of my cars caught fire. You know, there were so many things that happened, you know, coming to remind us of all of those things by telling us sorry. That wasn't what we wanted. You know, that's why that period I had to close my door to so many people, because there are people that will come and then they just remind you of what you don't even want to.
What you're trying to forget.
So I told anyone, come, you should just come. Let's appreciate God together. Let's thank God for this girl. You know, let's thank God for my mom. Let's just appreciate God. And that's why that period, I didn't tell many people after all. And even those who were aware, they say, Freshman, I want to come see your wife. I want to come see you guys. I said, I don't think there's need for that. You know, when the baby is alive, we know you're coming because you want to come rub powder. But when you come, and probably, for instance, I have this my friend who came, and while he was about to go, he gave my wife an envelope, and my wife started crying. I was like, I don't need an envelope. What am I using it for? Is it to buy diaper? Is it to buy powder? Is it to... And she rejected it. You know, I followed the guy down. I collected the envelope. I said, I'm sorry. You know, you're not thinking the way she's thinking. She's not seeing it from that point. That's why I keep telling you, don't come. There's no need coming. Because she will not understand it from your own picture. But I got it clearly, you know, because I had to be strong. I was stronger than herself. Because if both of us got weak, that would have been a very big problem, you know. So I think what we just need to understand is that whatever we are going through, whatever pain someone has caused us, whether our partner or not our partner or someone around us, we should always understand that there are people who have more pains, but they are not ready to announce it to anybody. And we should also understand that there are people around us who want to hear us share our story with them, and not sharing our stories with strangers. We should also understand that when we're sharing our stories on the Facebook, we are announcing it to our enemies.
True.
Our friends may hear it, but we're also telling our enemies.
True.
Another thing is that we should also understand that there are people who are monitoring us. There are forces, both human and spirit, that do not want us to succeed.
True.
And it is better they don't even have any information about you.
Yeah.
It's better they think you are even succeeding, you know, than knowing fully well that what they are doing is working.
Yeah.
If someone is going to you investing to bring you down, but the person is not seeing any sign that you are down, the person may get angry and decide not to go again, because the person may think he's investing in vain. But when you keep telling the person that yes, that what he or she is doing is working, the person will keep doing that. So we need to understand this thing, that we are not alone, that we are not the only ones suffering one pain or the other. There are thousands of people, even those are friends who are advising us. Nobody is completely complete. It's just that many people do not want to tell us. In our marriages, none of us is perfect. None of us, we are not getting everything right. We need to understand that. If you are trying to get at people, we should know that the best way to even get at people is
to succeed.
To do the right thing.
Yeah.
Succeed. For instance, in my book, I told whoever that cares to listen or read my book that, look, if I eventually marry someone, the person I wanted to marry disappointed me, if I meet a woman who now accepts me despite my shortcomings, because I knew that the reason why the person disappointed me may not be her fault. There are still things about me that pissed her off, that I couldn't compete with the choice she made for herself. So if I see somebody who can accommodate all of that and still accept me, that I'm going to honor that person, I'm going to worship that person, I'm going to do everything possible to make that person so happy that when this person who left me come in contact with the person will not say, thank God I left. The person will rather say, I wish I did not walk away.
Yeah. I think you've actually said it all. I'm not adding any other thing to what you've said. I think you've said it all, and we'll be summarizing with what you've just said, which is the best way to actually express yourself when your challenge is to succeed. Just go ahead, succeed. That's it. No need announcing it to the social media. No need announcing it to people who you don't even know. They don't even know you. No need exposing yourself. I think that will be all from us today.
Yeah, sure.
Fresh, thank you so much. It's really been amazing discussing this topic with you today on love and marriage. And thank God for your life. Thank God for the testimonies. Today, we are singing a different song, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I think that's the most important part of it. So thank you so much. And Love and Marriage will be here again next week.
Yes. From
me to every one of you out there, God bless you.
All right, let's see you again next week. I'm Freshman. Definitely, by God's grace, we'll be here next week to have a wonderful night rest. Bye-bye.